My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Monster Train 2. Woken Stygian. Yes, these two. I mean, Root Seeds helps me get additional cards. Foregone Power helps me utilize those cards for additional value. There's obviously the Incant line of Wildington, which is probably the line I'm going to want to go with here if it's offered. Ursul's Horde, gain 4 deployment. Ember, deployable upgrade is 50% cheaper. 2 copies of Vine Grasp in the base deck as well. A little bit of repositioning both for my party and the enemy party. I can hit my own units with this. Hercule Crystallis deals 35 damage to the front enemy twice. And then the Icy Silophyte, 1 Ember 2 size, sweep, and on strike, apply spell weakness 1 to the attacked unit. Serapeternus, Chosen of Entropy, is going to be giving us a bunch of Scourges at the very end, so we have even more reasons than I usually do to take the offering token. Interesting. Strangler has sweep, and on strike, apply rooted to the attacked unit. So you just keep him on the bottom line the entire time, but Thornlord summon, add 3 sting spells with frozen to your hand on incant, gain +2 damage. You become a good frontliner, just because your health is quite high. You become a good backliner. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Stygian Guard is the ally. We're gonna do some sort of incant lore. Cursed Vines. At the start of turn, add a Vine Grasp spell with Ephemeral to your hand. I might be able to get away with a version, because Wildington has these stings, right? And stings draw you an additional card next turn, and then there's also all these root seeds drawing an additional card next turn, and then Cursed Vines is giving me a card in hand each turn. I might be able to get away without putting draw in this deck, which would give me the ability to get much more capacity on the same line as Wildington, so I can try and exploit as many incant units at the same time as possible. Token of a Traitor deals playing a spell deals 2 damage to a random enemy unit on the floor. It's fine. Let's have a quick look at the logbook. I don't think that's the relic that I haven't used yet. Nope, Token of a Traitor's there. It's this one. It's related to magic power. I still can't remember what it is, but it's the only undiscovered artifact for me so far. Merchant of Magic Awoken, Stygian, Merchant of Steel. Oh, Stygian, Merchant of Steel, Stygian, Merchant of Steel. That'll set us up. It also gives me 2 opportunities to find a quick attack for Icy Silophyte. Would be particularly handy for the bottom line. I think I will use those Vine Grasps there. Yeah. To lower the incoming damage on Wildington, because I need to keep your health up. It's pretty hard for me to replenish. Yeah, here's 10 cards in this hand. Granted, I won't be playing 3 sting spells every turn, but still. Oh, no. I can play the Root Seeds, and then I can use the Foregone Power to discard the Vengeful Shot at the very end there. Nice. Interesting. Yeah, without any additional health gain, enemy's a little hard for us. That spell weakness set up on you, though, is very useful. Sting in the base deck? Steel Enhancer in the base deck. I think a single copy of Steel Enhancer in the base deck is a good idea. It's a great spell chain target. Offering token. Multi-strike Smidge Stone, that's huge. And I got a good unit for it as well. We'll take Siren of the Sea. I'm going to give you both Multi-strike and Smidge Stone. I'll give plus 14 damage to Icy Silophyte right now, and then just leave to the next floor. So, the Smidge Stone Siren of the Sea is well set up to be a dupe unit. I can just get a second copy of it. And it'll be pretty incredible. I do want to play out the Calcified Ember if I can get it. Oh, the Vine Grasps. Oh, they're doing so much work. We'll collect the Collector. Token our way through a Vengeful Shard. Steel Enhancer for plus 7/7 on the Siren of the Sea once you account for the incant. Yeah, look at that damage and health scaling in the back line. This is exactly what we wanted. So now the goal is to make the incants happen faster. Excuse me. Pyrogrow. Consume, draw 2 less cards next turn, gain 1 additional Ember every turn for the rest of the fight. I think I can take that, despite the fact that it doesn't really accomplish too much for me right now. In the long term, I'll want that. Second offering token. Seal with Titanite Endless. Care to give me a shark? No shark. I think I take a Nameless Siren. I can re-roll here. The only problem is it can generate a cost that is too high for me. I think you can get all the way up to 210. Yeah, it's 210 at the moment, so yeah, it'd be too far. Too far in that, right? There's so many other upgrades that are so much better. I'm gonna give this an opportunity. I'm gonna hit the Celestial Alcove just in case I end up getting a unit from this. Oh, I can turn down a card. Liquid Courage, applying damage shield 1 and 4 Valor is actually really good. I'm gonna collect that card. Damn it! Sometimes the Gremlin... Is there any way to influence that? Does anyone know? Sometimes the Gremlin lets you take additional cards. I would have relaxed some additional cards there. Wow. So that's going to be Dualism on the Nameless Siren's Incant, which means you're going to gain 12 additional damage every time I play something. And then upgrade a unit with Incant, gain Armor 2 is another really good drop on that unit. I'm definitely aiming to go Capacity as my first pickup, so I can get Wildington, the Siren of the Sea, and then the Nameless Siren all on the bottom line. Then I need to find a way to make the Nameless Sirens my defensive unit. Unfortunately, can't live the dream right now. Let's put Icy Silophyte there. So I'm putting the Nameless Siren and the Icy Silivine in front so that they get knocked back by Archeon. This is assuming that I'm going to be able to kill on the bottom line on turn 1. And yeah, I will. Great. Just enough to keep the Nameless Siren alive, thank you. I'm going to take this opportunity to play out the Classified Ember. Duh, how dare you tell me not to incant on the bottom line, huh? 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 What right? What right do you have? Well, thankfully I have another floor to do the incanting on. Grasp sounds good to me. Get out the other Calcified Ember here. Excuse me. Hell, I'll go Sting, Foregone Power, and would have played another one if I could have played another one. Offering our way through a Vengeful Shard. Helical Crystallis kills 1 unit. I think Liquid Courage makes some sort of sense here as well. Although perhaps that Liquid Courage should have gone on Wildenton. Siren of the Sea is growing larger, at least. Oh, Pyagro on a turn where the energy won't benefit me, and also I'm going to be short cards next turn. That's not what I want. In the slightest. I've got to play Helical Crystallis on this floor, otherwise we lose Nameless Siren. More Vine Grasps for you, though, and Foregone Power as well. Up to 128 damage on the Nameless Siren, yeah. Oh, if only I could get them on the same floor! Also, if I had a way to heal that. I think we're okay. Yeah, bottom line's almost a kill, and I haven't even played anything this turn. We'll be fine. It's definitely going to be capacity burst. It's probably capacity draw. Adaptive Mutation's absolutely incredible here. Consume, restore a friendly unit to full health, then swap their attack and health. Putting that on the Nameless Siren means the Nameless Siren's 100 and whatever damage it was just there becomes its health, and then its health becomes its damage, and it keeps its rage. So it keeps all of the damage. It just turns what was previously a temporary buff of rage into permanent health. Wildwood Tome's also incredible. I have additional deployment Ember. I can play Steel Singer on its own floor. But you're already gilded, and also you grow so slowly with that Rejuvenate. I would have to be healing you constantly for it to likely ever be relevant. Shattered Shell's additional sweep, competing against what we already have for that. I think Animus of Will is probably the choice here. There's the Empyrean Well I was asking for. Oh, that's fun. -1 cost intrinsic on a Liquid Courage, and then we could give it double stack. Pretty great card to have in the opening. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Predator, quick. Enchants the entire floor with quick. I honestly don't think increasing Wildenton's scaling via incant is the important part here. I think if I can use Predator and give that entire floor quick, then most of my needs to defend on that floor immediately disappear. I was really hoping I would get that line. I'm very happy about it. 100,000%. The dupe is going to be on... I mean, Nameless Siren does get very powerful, but I do need the Smidge-stoned Siren of the Sea to capitalize. This gives a lot of health, especially because it happens immediately. It's a lot of health. This is an interesting one. -2 cost consume. I feel like I could burn a Helical Crystallis out of this deck, but I also feel like if I 0 cost a Root Seeds, I'm happy to consume it. I'm also happy to... not... Helical Crystallis give you some additional damage. Or a Vine Grasp some additional damage so that I can try and remove a backline target when it's more annoying. Yeah, I think Vine Grasp with 10 additional damage. It's pretty nice there. We had just enough money to get that as well. Merchant of Steel, Hersel's Horde, and Awoken Banner. Incant, gain armor, or multi-strike, I guess. Nameless Siren would be keen on. Quick for Icy Silophyte. Just damage and large stone and stuff like that for Animus of Will. I don't know if I get as much value out of that as I do going to another Merchant of Magic, possibly even duping another another Siren of the Sea. Because I've got the Deployment Ember for them. So if I can set them all up on turn 1 and start incanting them immediately because of the spikes that we get, it's going to be worth it. Yeah, this feels responsible. Oh my god, there's the adaptive mutation. I do think I use it this early when it comes this early. So Adaptive Mutation takes our Nameless Siren with 108 damage and 10 health and turns it into 118 damage and 108 health. Good work, Siren. I'm not going to draw that many additional cards next turn, so using Pyagro this turn doesn't seem that great. I do want to incant on the bottom line a bunch. And it's better I do so than not, I think, still. Specifically because sapping the Nameless Siren by 2 every time I incant does not eclipse the additional damage I get from 6 rage. I end up 4 rage ahead still. Oh yay, Vine Grasp! Don't have to worry about missing out on the collector there. Hell yeah. Sap them as much as you'd like. I mean, I'd love you to stop, but if you're not gonna... I honestly do not mind. We've already got a good shot at dealing with 500s. And we're on ring 4. Oh, that bodes well. I still have the damage shields from the very start of the fight. And I think I probably only lost damage shield on Wildenton when they struck a Penitent Breaststone. Without multi-strike, I wouldn't have even ever taken damage. Wild. Ensnare. Apply route 1 to an enemy unit, draw an additional card next turn. Not half bad in a world where I'm telling you I don't intend on getting an additional draw relic. But maybe I still do. We'll see. Awake. Restore 40 health. Give regen 3. No. Yeah, sure. Give me a single Ensnare. Reserve the ability to apply Frozen to a card in hand. I mean, there are some cards that I do want to keep for the right turns, but very, very few of them. Most of them I just want to cast and go. I think Drain... Drain makes some sense. Try and have a little bit of sap for the end game, especially if I can double stack that. Permanently remove Consume, and then -2 cost and gain Consume on an adaptive mutation. Guess what's getting duped now? Also heals our Pyre, equal to spell cost. I'll put that on a Helical Crystallis, literally just take some HP from it. I'm gonna go to the Celestial Arco first, just in case. Savage Shackles are really easy for me to ignore the downside of in this run. So I should take it, despite the fact that I'm really underwhelmed with any of these right now. I suppose Nameless Siren could get Titan Skin because it would double with the dualism immediately, so you just take any instance of 10 or less damage you do not take. And then also, you will become my biggest tank because the Adaptive Mutation, having 2 copies in the deck, will get ridiculous. Hey! Doesn't count. Titan Skin can't be amplified by dualism like that. Honestly, I'm leaning towards doing nothing then. None of these benefit me more than not adding an additional card to my deck, and it's also worth noting the Titan Skin upgrade or any of the upgrades, frankly, for Nameless Siren are actively not good because they take away my ability to give multi-strike to the Nameless Siren at a different point in the future, or a different upgrade, but it's probably multi-strike, let's be real. Second adaptive mutation, we are doing it. We're mutating. We're adapting. Having Seal, no us enemy units restore 150 health if they ever manage to move up a floor. Nameless Siren will become the biggest defense very quickly. The only problem is I have to get to a adaptive mutation before that happens. Well, that's actually interesting. Liquid Courage gives me a lot more latitude over that, because I can give some Damage Shield and Valor to the Nameless Siren to try and keep it alive while I push for the other options. Interesting. I don't think I need to rectify the floor at the moment, but in the future that could be relevant. I mean, I can just ensnare to keep you here. Of course, doesn't accomplish too much when you kill the unit. I'm gonna play a spell light version of this turn. Double up on adaptive mutation for the sake of scaling the Nameless Siren a lot better. Perfect. Next floor's already taken care of. I do have root seeds, so a little easier to play the Pyagro there. Wahoo! Every unit from the deck is played. Please stop exclusively summoning incant units. It's actually really disrespectful. Oh my god, we got back to one of the adaptive mutations. Remember when I was talking about, hey, I need some body repositioning at some point, that would be really useful. And also when I picked up Cursed Vines at the very start of the game, and I said, well, I could use this to reposition my own body, in case that becomes relevant. Anyway, I only just realized that both of those things did occur. So 472 damage, 133 health. Adaptive mutation, now it's 490, 472. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hilarious. Reserve the horns, consume, add 3 sting spells to your hand. I'll do it. Unnamed Tone for muting bosses that are really annoying, especially good against Seraph of Eternus. Entropy. Unfortunately, playing two clans from the first game, the Merchant of Arms is significantly less valuable, but also the Merchant of Trinkets is where I want to be. Will I mute 1 to an enemy unit when enters your terrain? Love that. Ancient Pyre tap. When you're out of energy, cards can be played for their cost and Pyre health. I could do that. It's really good. Spells gain an extra upgrade slot as well, and Lightstone Casing. Maybe I could give Holdover to an Adaptive Mutation, or Spell Chain, God forbid. I just don't know if energy is going to be my problem. Like, this will allow me to suddenly play something, but if I don't ever end up needing it... I don't think I do. I'll probably end up re-rolling here. Stable Vortex. I can play out my Stewards and Shields at the moment. I do need to get rid of at least 1 copy of Foregone Power here. They're discarding themselves constantly. Admittedly, I don't need these Spear Stewards. Oh, I don't want to cancel here. Maybe it is just another Foregone Power right now. There is value in a Merchant of Arms, and especially when it's opposed by a Merchant of Steel after a Merchant of Steel. Yeah, because I'm not going to need that. There is some value in a Merchant of Arms possibly picking up a Steward's Quarters, which I could just throw on the top line to suddenly turn these into real units. I'm going to take the opportunity to reroll here. Okay, and I'll take Vola's Tuning Fork. Starting cards cost -1. I'll also purge another Foregone Power at that point. Ancient Biostone's irrelevant. I have so much Deployment Ember already. But here, all of the Root Seeds now cost 0, which makes it much easier to guarantee that I am drawing as many cards each turn as I can. Kale and his Cherubs have some spikes and damage to give the units. Sorry, spikes and health, rather. Spikes is damage. Well, there's the Adaptive Mutation. I think I do want to get Nameless Siren at the front of the party as quickly as possible then. Let's move you there, give you the most divine courage. Fruit Seeds, one of the double strikers. Throw a bunch of stings out. Any of these are going to discard randoms in hand, so now it's time to play the first Adaptive Mutation. In doing so, turning a 92-7 into a 102-92. Oh no, we are muting all of the units on the bottom line, so I don't even have to deal with the corruption they're going to try and put out. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, the quick enchant path was definitely the correct one. Do I got capacity again? Draw is going to have almost no impacts. Energy is going to have almost no impacts. Capacity would give me the ability to dupe a Nameless Siren and just pop another one on the same floor. Why not? Why wouldn't I do that? I mean, the first one is way better than the second one because I can't really adapt and mutate both of them at the same speed. That's okay. Up to 314 to 20. Although I guess only one of them really does have to tank. Definitely a good time to get the Calcified Ember out on the field. Oh no! No! You're gonna kill that line! How dare you! Yeah, sure. I'll let Gale take the damage to that. I just wanted it for the pyre healing. Alright, I'm gonna turn the speed up to ultra speed and really just push. Because the game plan is very much settled here. Nothing's really gonna be a surprise. I pretty much know exactly what to play. And we've, like, really hemmed in the enemies. Like, by muting them and having the ability to mute the boss, most of the things that usually make you stop and go, maybe I should do this a little differently in this fight, are invalidated. I think it would be slightly hyperbolic but very fair to say that the way that I try and play games is to avoid having to play the game. Like, a lot of the way that I construct builds in games is to constrain the decision-making that I need to make over the longest period of time, and the best way for me to do that consistently is to find things that are very consistently broken and narrowly focus on them. That's one of the reasons I really like that there's so many clan combinations, obviously, with the 10 clans from MT1 and MT2 here, because each of those clan combinations has stuff defined in it. It's a bunch of additional problems to solve. I do like solving those problems, I don't like having to keep a mental uptime of 100% while playing a game. I like to be able to switch my brain off and go, well, I know what I'm supposed to do now. Okay, one more adaptive mutation, and what are we? High Heaven, and the Nameless Siren has 1.5 thousand, 1.5 thousand effectively. 1434 to 1248 health. Pretty good. That's not even to mention the Sirens of the Sea in the back line, who are multi-striking for 200 damage apiece. Funny game. I don't know if it expected that there was a single chance in hell I wasn't going to take that Awoken Rail Spike. Good upgrade for... no, I don't need to give Quicken plus 10 to... I'll give Quicken plus 10 to the Icy Silify. I don't think Titanite is what the Nameless Siren is missing here. Certainly it's Multi-Strike. I will relent for Incant Gain Armor too, as a thing that I was earlier pointing to, like, I want that. Animus of Will, I could Large Stone. And then I can throw a Strength Stone on you as well. I like that. Yeah, I think we go Predator too. Multi-strike immediately on that unit. Then Empyrean Well. Another adaptive mutation is obviously incredible. It's obviously incredible. It's got to be the Nameless Siren that we take, though. I will need to remove the Spear Sewers from my deck now because I believe my opening hand has too many cards. Oh, no, it doesn't. I just have to make sure I play them in the right order. Nameless Siren, Nameless Siren, Siren C, Siren C. Wildenton. Very front. And this defends Icy Silify. Wow, I still have enough to play all of them. Cool. Ooh. I don't kill the Avowed Gladiator. Oh no. What am I gonna do? That's gonna be like the last enemy I'm not capable of immediately killing. One of you, Grasp the other forward. I could play Spear Steward, but I could also not. Oh boy. Yep, there's the adaptive mutations. There they are. In all their glory. Let's move you to the front line and then adaptive mutate you once and twice. Now you do 400 damage and you have 200 health. I'll probably keep Unnamed Tome. I'll risk it once. Nice. Oh boy. That's another adaptive mutation. So the first adaptive mutation only gives health, realistically, to the units. After that, I'm also increasing damage. So it's health for the first increase, damage for the second increase, then keeps going back and forth. I am heavily incentivized to just keep doing it on the same unit. I'm so glad that my last run was such a heavy contrast to this one, because otherwise, I could see how it could feel a little bit strange. Feel a little like I'm doing the same thing constantly, but I to embrace other styles from time to time, and especially recently. Boy. Ooh, back to another Helical Crystallis. Thank you for helping me heal. And you know what? I think that'll do it. I do think the thing that makes me most powerful is getting another Helical. Another Helical. No, another adaptive mutation. Guardian's Amulet. Offering the ability to sap enemy units. Most realistically, that's useful in Steel, Unstable Vortex, Merchant of Arms, Empyrean Well. Interesting. I am going to go Arms, Empyrean Well. Guardian's Amulet is... it's not necessary. It's so far from necessary. It's a spell that I can cast for free occasionally by discarding it, but... no. It will never change the outcome of this run. Unless it's in a negative way. Yuck. Floating Fungus, regen stores an additional health per stack. Irrelevant. Trader's Quill, irrelevant. Breath of Heaven, often bad. On deployment phase, draw an equipment card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. I mean, I have no equipment cards at the moment, but I am about to visit a Merchant Magic. Merchant of Arms, rather. Equalizing Rings. This unit's health is... this unit's damage is always equal to its max health. No. Enchanted Chamber, plus 15 magic power. I mean, I could have that on the bottom line so that the Vine Grasps do a bunch of damage to an enemy. There's no great reason not to have it unless I plan on putting a different room down there. The capacity of our bottom line is full, which means that even if I did give the Overgrowth Carapace to a Siren of the Sea, it wouldn't be able to grow. I suppose there's a world where the second floor Animus of Will gets the Overgrowth Carapace and the blade stuck together. Let's combine them into one. I don't want it to be drawn in the opening. I don't want Enchanted Chamber to be drawn in the opening. Fight Club could go on that second floor, sure. Whetstone pulls it out of the deck. The dupe is 100,000% an additional. Adaptive Mutation. None of the rooms need to be drawn in the opening. Oh no, I only got to remove one card. It's a Shield Steward. That's fine. Merchant of Arms, Merchant Trinkets. Alright, Turnus. If I play a Shield Seal by itself on the top line, that's where Eternus will visit first, giving me a turn worth of growth on the Animus before we have to worry about that. Oh, nice. All of them are silenced on the bottom line again. I forgot about that. I forgot that was going to happen. Oh, that's so good. I'm going to Divine Grasp a Nameless Siren to the front, because we are definitely super casting this turn. My club goes on the next floor, and then swap. 292 damage on the Nameless Siren and 150 health, as well as 48 additional armor. Pretty good. And we even still got 10 cards in hand, despite the fact that we played a Pyre Grove for additional energy last turn. Wild. Yeah, I don't need to let you give me all of these Curses of Entropy. Yay! The Animus of Will gets to attack an enemy. It's absolutely not going to be relevant in any way, shape, or form, but it gets to happen. Yay! Play the Awoken Rail Spike before doing anything else. Those cards were already 0 cost, but I'm still happy to have drawn them. Whoop. Another Adaptive Mutation ready to come out. I will keep just playing the Helical Crystallis for additional max HP. See if I can get to full HP before the end of the run. Nice. More than happy to 0 cost a Vengeful Shard. Honestly, Will's gotten pretty big up there, actually. Unfortunately, I can't play a Spear Steward on that top, or on the mid line to chump block with at the moment. I'm 1 capacity short. Trying to silence my units, but I silence you first. Get muted. Did you not grow at the end of last turn? And if so, why? Double Adaptive Mutation takes us to 1400, 1200? No, my top line. Why? Jump another unit up there just because we can. Absolutely should have been counted on the bottom line, but please trust it won't be relevant. I lose 64 of the one. Actually, let me play the rest of the turn to see exactly how it goes. Just in case I lose. Okay. It's fun seeing these next to one another. Number so big it's eclipsed by the text box. Out of our nearly 1800 health rather, we're gonna lose 64. Damn. Only we could have done that better. I'm obviously kidding because it's going so well. One more horde, sorry, one more pyre, rather, to heal. So I just have to play the Helical Crystallis once and not take that much damage. Not too much of an issue. Granted, I'm going to need to mute Savagery, otherwise it's going to get to the top line and then deal damage directly. Oh, which of these do I want to drop, actually? I think it's Helical Crystallis. Because I want to play the Spear Steel on top line for a jump block. I want to play Drain on the very top to prevent damage. All I have to do is play the Crystallis once before the end of the battle. Nice. I got an offering token, so I can use that to discard the Curse of Entropy, so I don't even have to play it. I mean, Adaptive Mutation definitely goes on the bottom line. That's what it is meant for. The Vine Grasp. My own unit to the front of the line. I'm going to play out one Spear Stew with an Vengeful Shard. I'm not going to play the Awoken Railspike right now, actually. I want it on a turn where I can really afford to invest in it. It's the Unnamed Tome, finally. Sadly, I have to play one of those. Oof. Animus of Will down. I could have saved the Animus of Will if I really wanted to be fair. But I'm just gonna not have full health by the end of the fight, and that will be completely okay. Next time Savagery comes down here, it immediately dies. And pretty much every round we get a couple hits in. Kick him. Working around, Spike draws 3. I wouldn't necessarily call those good hits. Especially this round, yeah, we're going to be pushing not only Savagery down, but also a huge amount of damage on Entropy. You gotta hit the top line with the pyre. And that's it. Yep, Entropy is down now as well, so it's officially just Dominion on top. So start throwing some spells at you. Next turn with the right set of spells and this Pyrelite. I mean, you are dead at the end of the turn due to the Pyrelite, but with the right set of spells... we can make that slightly earlier. Nope. Just too short. That's okay though, combat doesn't even manage to proceed to the bottom line. And if that isn't the healthiest damn nameless siren I've ever seen. Taking all of these temporary buffs, I mean, mostly the rage one to be fair, the armor does not count as health and then get flipped over in the other direction. But turning all of those into full stats, rather than just buffs on the unit. Also, Atoms of Will getting to 6 size was fun. Although admittedly not relevant at all. And the adaptive mutations were absolutely absurd. Small shout out to Liquid Courage for helping us set up a little bit faster as well. I mean, realistically, also. Stings. It wasn't really what I would call a Sting deck, because you can get a bunch of relics related to Stings. There's Vine Mother as well on Resolve Gain Sting, things like that. Is that my... It's certainly my fastest Titan fight in a while. Ensnare and Vine Grasp. Both earn their gilding. Oh, new personal record. Never mind, it's my fastest run. I mean, it literally is a speed run. Also, new personal record of enemies killed on the first floor, 179 versus 178. Yeah, we were very much focused almost exclusively on that first floor. How much higher than that can you even really get it to be? Not sure. Jumping back to the outpost, I'll tell you. My name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the public on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the thanks and a special thanks to this episode to Zoe. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully see you all next time.